Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and this is the lore of the world, which is called Dicera, for those of you who do not know. And we will start at the beginning. Um, beginning. Let me just get my timeline. Of course, it's not the full lore, so I'm gonna call this the lore part one. So let me make this 100. Most of these events and stuff like that, you can read all about it in the game, in the book that are written by authors that lived in the world and stuff like that. Yeah. So, in the beginning, there was one all-powerful being called Parthenium. He existed in an endless abyss alone for 100 years, just big enough for him to fit in. Oops, let me make this bigger. No, something is being cut off. Okay, there we go. So that's 100 AD. So all of the ADs are basically actually all of the AD and all of the AC are basically they're they're unofficial timelines made up by scholars and other people like that and stuff like that. They're made up time. They're not actually real time because no one actually knows what's happening there. So actually, let me start over. 0 AD. AD standing for Age of Darkness. Now, Parthium existed in an endless abyss alone for 100 years, just big enough for him to fit in. So 100 AD. Parthium creates two spirits to keep him company, called Aiden and Adrian. Aiden is the boy, Adrian is the girl. 110 AD, which is 10 years later, Aiden kills Adrian out of jealousy because Parthium was favored Adrian over. He saw that Parthium was favoring Adrian over him, so he got jealous and killed her. Um, so So the same year, 110 AD, after killing his sister, Parthium creates time and traps Aiden in the moment that he killed his sister, so he could relive it forever. 40 years later, in sheer boredom, Parthium splits into six smaller but all-powerful beings. So this is how the six divines were born. Six divines lived in peace. So 150 AD to 513 AD, six divines lived in peace. 513 AD, Aiden breaks free of his prison. The force it took him to break out of time, basically blew up, like shattered like the small space that they were like they were still in, and basically created the whole Astanos, which is the universe, which is the space the universe is in. 514 AD, Eros created Eros. One thing you may notice is that Eros is the one always coming up with these ideas to do stuff. He came up with the idea to create, like he was the first one to learn how to create like his world and stuff like that, and he was also the first one to create his race and stuff like that. So he's an innovator, basically. So 514 AD, Eros creates a small piece of space, and when I mean by a small piece of space, what I mean by a small piece of space is basically like a small world, in the Astanos. Same year, he teaches his the other divine beings how to create, because they're brothers, they're living in peace, and he wants to share his knowledge with them. Same year, the six divine beings basically just filled up the whole darkness with their creation. So it took them a whole year to fill up the whole Astanos with like with the world and stuff like that. Not the original world. That was the first version of the world. It was like chaotic and everything was just like mushed together and stuff like that. Um, so the next year, six divine beings run out of space to create. That was basically the the like it's basically them having fun. That was the base. That was the only thing that the only fun thing that they could do was basically create the world and stuff like that. So that's why they went overboard, because they were just there living peacefully with nothing to do in an endless abyss of darkness. So it was boring. Just like Parthium, he was growing bored of being by himself, so he creates two spirits, and then when that didn't work out, he splits himself into six divine beings, thinking it would solve his boredom, which it doesn't. So after the six divine beings run out of space, 5 years later, Ekron challenges Etrix for his space. So he challenges him to a fight and say, because if once a divine creates the space or the world, like a world, another being cannot, like, he can add to it, but he can't like really destroy it and make his own or something like that. So he has to there has to be like another way for it to create. 521 AD, fight between Ekron and Etrix still rages on. Exer and Eros joins the fight. The next year, Edrin and Erons joins the fight, and then 1,000 and something years later, which is 2000 AD, six divine destroy all of their creations. That shouldn't be an M there. Creates destroys all their creations, returning their endless abyss. So basically, they wiped out the whole thing that they created. 200 and 2173 AD. Eros forms an alliance with Erons, and then later on the next year, Edrin joins the alliance. 2200 AD, the alliance defeats Ekron. So Eros forms an alliance with Erons after like just deciding that there's no way that they could like win by themselves. Like the war would have definitely went on forever if they were fighting by themselves. So they formed an alliance, and then the alliance defeats Ekron, draining his power. The divines cannot be killed, but their powers can definitely be drained. The alliance defeats Etrix, and then finally, the alliance defeats Exer. Notice the time gap is taken, so they're fighting them one on one, like it's 3 against 1, 3 against 1, 3 against 1. They basically fought this guy because it was like their fight, the first fight. It took them longer than it would the other ones. It basically took them like about 800 to 700 and something years just to defeat the first one, and then the gap of these two reduces. After after Exer was defeated, it then started the Age of Creation. Eros, Edrin, and Erons basically came together, and they set the conditions for the creations. They set a goal for themselves, and they set the boundaries of the stuff that they can do and cannot do, and other stuff like that. And so 100 AC to 500 AC, Eros, Edrin, and Erons created land, ocean, and sky. Eros created the land, Edrin created the ocean, and Erons created the sky. World is gray, no night and day. So when they finished the world, there was no day and night. It was just gray. 500 to 753 AC, Eros, Edrin, and Erons put their powers to create the physical form. Okay, so they put their powers together to create the physical forms of all the living creatures. And then after that, they basically then created the spirits for them to put in the empty shells, giving them life. 759 AC. Divines become weak after creating the world. 761 AC. Eros comes up with an idea to replenish his power. With his remaining power, he creates two special race of animals with enriched soul, which produces life energy. So the enriched soul is a key part of the all the three races. They're the thing that makes them special. And what the enriched soul do is basically produces life energy, which is used for magic, and is also absorbed by the divines. They're absorbed by the divines, giving them strength. Okay, 761 to 763 AC. Eros teaches the two other divine beings that he's allied with how to actually no, I'm wrong. 761 to 763 AC. Eros teaches the two beings how to worship him. So those were the first two special races. They were the first two elves, the first two special races to come in existence, I guess. Then 1000 AC, their race advances and grows their population. So like they get smarter and their population grows from the first two to like I don't know the exact number because I haven't made that up yet. Um, Eron's is almost at full strength by then, so it was like 300, actually 230 something years later, 37 years later. Um, yeah. Anyways, 500, 1500 AC. Eros is now at full strength, and he teaches Adrian, and Eron's how to create a special with a being with an enriched soul. Typos. The same year, Adrian attempts to create a being with enriched soul and fails. 1550 AC. Adrian attempts again and succeed. New beings that he created were not perfect. Their soul were not as enriched as Eros's beings, so they produced less life energy, but they were physically stronger than Eros's beings. I need to move this over. They were also deformed and had features of some of the other animals. 1550 AC. Ooh, hold on. Adrian attempts. Okay. 2001 AC, Eron's regains enough power to create his own beings. Wait, Ero, what? Create his own beings. Oh, okay. Create his own beings. Eros and Adrian's beings or races grow in population and they advance again. That's just like a little there's going to be another timeline. This timeline right now is basically talking about what the gods were doing. There's going to be another timeline for the elves. There's going to be another timeline for the Alakais and then the humans. So it's also going to like intercept like when it says their population grows and they advances. It's basically going to tell you what they're doing in between those times and what they're doing to grow and advance and stuff like that and their history, I guess. 2001 to 2002 AC. Eron's asked Eros and Idrin for advice on how to create his own beings. I was typing this on my Surface, so those typos are there. 2003 AC. Eros creates a perfect being by combining both techniques. Achieving a balanced being. They look like the first beings. They looked like the elves, but they had shorter ears. But their soul were not as enriched as the first, but still more than the second. And is basically saying that they were average, but they were also perfect because. Okay. Okay. Divines decide. Okay. 2005 AC. Divines decide to. This is why I wasn't using the like their names because their names haven't been given to them yet. Divines decide to name their beings. Decides to name their beings Eros. Calls his new race Elvines, which means first in the language of the gods, which later was translated into elves by the elves, who also translate their names. Idrin called his race Alakeister, actually. Alakeister. Where am I? Okay, call his name Alakeister, which means unexpected in the language of the gods, later translated to the Alakai or by the Alakaians. Finally, Eron's named his race Humanier. Actually, Human. I forgot how I pronounced it. Humaner. Anyways, it means perfect. It means perfect in the language of the gods, later translated into humans by the humans. 2005 to 2695 AC. All three races grow in population and advances. The world is peaceful. Nothing really happened in this time period. Literally. They just ate, did what they had to, reproduce, nothing happened. 2697 AC. Ekron awakens, seeing the world, he tries to destroy it because he's mad. He said, "How dare them do this to me?" Seeing he couldn't, what? Oh, he tries to destroy it. Seeing he couldn't, he starts to create evil in order to corrupt the world. This was like a few years later. About 3 years later, yeah, 3 years later, Ekron finally finishes creation and releases evil to the world. 2700 to 2881 AC. Evil spreads throughout the world. The evil was a dark condensed cloud visible to everyone, so everyone could see it. 2800 AC, the first murder occurs by an Alakai by the name of Histerkis. So Histerkis kills an elf over a piece of apple. No one knows about this crime, not even the perpetrator. Like no one knew what it was. He killed them. He didn't know it was murder. No one knew what it was. It was the first act of murder. Like he just continued going. So before they would share the apple or something peaceful, but he kills them because he got like the evil got to his soul. He killed them. He didn't know what happened. He just thought it was he found it strange, but still, it wasn't like a big deal because he didn't really know what was going on. He didn't know that he committed the first murder in recorded history, which is actually maybe not recorded yet because history has not been recorded yet. Anyways, 3000 AC. Erons tries to get rid of the evil by creating a source of powerful enough to saturate the darkness, so it would no longer be absorbed by the world and its creatures. He begins to create holes in the sky that would saturate the evil. So again, Ekron is the god of the sky because he was the one who created the sky, so he could do whatever he wants up there. So he basically starts to create these source of energy that basically will suck out the evil in the world. But after he creates billions of holes in the sky, so those holes eventually becomes the stars that you see at night. After creating billions of holes in the sky, Erons decided that he alone could not create a powerful enough hole or powerful enough source that could saturate the darkness fast enough in a short period of time. So he calls to his brothers for help. 3120 AC. After creating billions of the billions. Oh, oops! I've already went through that. 3120 to 3195 AC. Eros, Edrin, and Erons combined their power to create a powerful ball of light in the sky, powerful enough to saturate 95% of the evil in the world. The new source also emitted a special energy which enhanced the life energy of the three races. Day and night is created, magic is born. Okay, Ekron feeds off the evil that still remains in the world. That's how Ekron gains his strength. Exer awakens and goes into exile because he's cool. His name is Exer, and he wants to go into exile because Exer sounds like kinda starts the same as exile, so he's the cool guy. At least he wasn't a dick about it until later on, which is basically why the story is happening right now in Dawnhaven. 3300 AC. Etrix awakens. Like Ekron, he was furious. He creates monsters, mutants, and vile creatures with a soul made especially to absorb the creation of Ekron. After creating the monsters and stuff like that, he wasn't like really gaining anything from it. But later on, special creatures that he created evolve into they evolve and gain enough intelligence to actually start worshiping him and stuff like that. Those creatures would be vampires, werewolves, and some other creatures. They get enough intelligence and they start to worship him because he's their god. 3301 AC. Divines hold the cancel. 3301 to 3303 AC. The shift begins. So, fearing that the world would be too corrupt if all the three races lived together with evil and monsters, the three divines decide to split the world into four island continents. So again, the whole world was a huge continent. So because of the evil and stuff, they decided to split it into three. So the four continents are Dawnhaven, which is the continent that this game is taking place in. Second continent is this is not by any order. I'm just naming it from the top of my head. The second one is Iranis, which I used to call Iranesis, but I changed it to Iranis, which is the home of the elves, which is also where the second game will be taking place. And then the last one is the Mavel Deadlands, which is where the Alakais come from. And then the middle island, which is the biggest island I have not named yet, and I will be naming in the future. Fun fact about the Alakians or Alakaians homeland. It's called the Deadlands because there used to be a huge volcano in the middle. Actually, there used to be a huge mountain. It was a volcanic mountain, and then there was like, it was all grassland and all plain and stuff like that. It was all beautiful and everything, and then there was just this one volcano in the middle. So one day the volcano decides to blow up, not erupt. It just blows up and just destroys like every living thing that's like basically in the middle of the whole continent. So the only place that remains like as it used to be is the two sides of it. So like the whole middle is like scorched, and then the two sides are like still good. So being tough and stuff, the Alakaians basically adapted to their new condition. Although the volcano destroyed like three of their main cities. Again, I would be explaining why the volcano blew up, but right now I have no explanation. I just came up with it today. Okay. Um, 3303 AC. After the shift, the three divines discovered that they were not growing. They were growing weaker. Art Ardius, which is the name of the sun, Ardius the sun, allowed the mortal race, I forgot where, the mortal race to use magic, which used most of the energy that was given to the divine. So they weren't receiving that as much energy as they would, because the sun is enhancing the life energy produced by the mortal race, allowing them to use magic. So they were basically throwing away the energy that they were giving to the divines and stuff. So 3305 AC, Eron's abandons Dysera, which is the name of the world. He watches the world from beyond the astronauts while he rests. 4000 AC, Edrin and Eron's joins Edrin and Eros joins Erons. 4001 AC, Ekron and Etris creates a world inside themselves where they control everything. It's not like they didn't do it like at the same exact moment and the same exact year, but I just made it into 1 year. But I mean, of course, it took them some time, and they didn't do it all at the same time. During the same time period, which is from here, yeah, from like 5 years before this till right now, XR becomes lost beyond the astronauts. Like he can't find his way back to his brothers and stuff like that. Like he's just lost. And then, yeah, that's here. 1E1, which is the first era, and so it's first era 1. This is in the format of Skyrim or the Elder Scrolls. It's usually one. Well, I forgot how they did it, but anyways, mine is 1E1. So first era 1. First recorded history. Elves create the first civilization, starting the first era. And that's it so far. I still have a lot to cover. Yeah, I still have thousands of years to cover before to the current point that we are in. And I will definitely keep on working on this. So thank you guys again for watching. I have no idea how long that took. 25 minutes. Wow. If you stayed for that long, thank you for watching. There's a new gameplay video out right now, showing the first act of the game. Make sure to like that video, comment on that video. If you want to be a tester for the game, add me on Skype, chigooX underscore at Skype. Yeah, that's very cool. Add me. Anyways, thank you guys again for watching. Make sure to hit that subscribe button to be updated every time I release a new video. Make sure to comment on the video, and also make sure to share this video. Peace.